Alright, good afternoon, Mrs. Anderson, and welcome to the parent-teacher meet and greet. So as you would probably know, this discussion will mainly focus on David Dillon's grades and behavior performance that he has been putting throughout the school year so far since September.
Yup, I'm fully aware of that, Mr. Dover. So tell me, how has David Dillon been doing ever since he started going to school here in early September? I'm honestly just hoping he hasn't been causing you too much trouble lately.
Oh boy. Well, Mrs. Anderson, I hate to say it, but David Dillon has got to be one of the worst behaved students I've ever had in all my years of teaching, throughout pretty much the whole school year. So far, he's been very disruptive. He always keeps name-calling and bullying all his classmates. He always crumbles up any assignment I give into paper balls, and whenever we do assignments on the school computers and iPads, he'll always go out of his way and cyberbully any people he finds on the internet, and don't even mention the time when he pulled down the fire alarm back in November either.
Can you fucking shut up for once, Mr. Dover? Just hearing you speak makes me so freaking bored to death. Why did I have to come here, Mom? I wish I could have stayed at home doing my daily internet trolling instead of coming to this stupid boring meeting with you.
Hey, David Dillon, knock that attitude off right now. You don't speak to Mr. Dover or anyone else like that. I'm extremely disappointed in you hearing about this, as I certainly did not raise you to behave like a complete maniac towards everybody that's involved in your life.
Yeah, David Dillon, I agree with what your mother said. I could practically go on all day about all of the times David Dillon has misbehaved throughout the school days, Mrs. Anderson. I also forgot to mention this, but recently, David Dillon also pulled a prank on me by putting a leftover banana peel right by the classroom door, which caused me to slip and hurt my back really bad.
What? Are you freaking serious, David Dillon? A banana peel prank? What the hell is the matter with you? You should be so lucky that Mr. Dover didn't seriously injure himself after you made him slip on that.
Oh, come on, Mom. That banana peel prank was literally the most hilarious thing I've ever done. Almost everybody in the class burst out laughing because they thought it was funny too. How was I even supposed to know that Mr. Dover would take my prank seriously? You should really get a fucking sense of humor for once, since there's hardly anything to do to pass the time while being in his stupid class.
David Dillon, that's enough. I'm just curious, Mrs. Anderson, but is everything alright with both of you at home?
What do you mean by that, Mr. Dover?
Well, Mrs. Anderson, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I'm honestly starting to think that maybe the reason for David Dillon's troublemaking behavior could be hard and difficult problems that are happening for him in his life outside of school.
Well, I can reassure you that everything is perfectly fine between me and David Dillon at home, Mr. Dover. I know he's usually quite happy outside of school, but there's also many times on where I don't get to know how he's feeling throughout the day, because he's always left at home on his own while I'm at work. I'm a single mother working overtime, so that's why.
Oh, I see. Well, after hearing what you said, Mrs. Anderson, I'm thinking maybe the reason on why David Dillon behaves the way he does is maybe because he's feeling lonely a lot of the time and he just wants to find ways to get attention. I don't mean to get too personal right here, Mrs. Anderson, but is there a Mr. Anderson? I'm only asking because I'm now thinking a lot on what you said, and I've also seen most students here coming to the parent-teacher conferences with both of their parents or guardians with them.
Sadly no, Mr. Dover. That's exactly why I'm a single mother working overtime. David Dillon doesn't like it when he hears his father being mentioned. So, I'll just say, when David Dillon was very little, for not any happy reasons which I'm not gonna talk about, his dad left our lives a long time ago and has never come back since.
What? Oh, come on. Why did you have to bring up my stupid dad, Mr. Boring? You should know very well that I never want to hear him be brought up ever. If you dare mention him again, you'll seriously regret ever doing it in the first place, because I'll make sure to get revenge on you, Mr. Dover, and I fucking mean it.
Oh, I see. I'm very sorry to hear that, Mrs. Anderson. If that's the case, I think I'm now starting to understand the truth and reasons behind David Dillon's troublemaking behavior. I hope he can find ways to improve his behavior and school performance, as I'm sure we'd all love to see him become a much better person.